What's good, y'all? So today we are going to be holding one of the most disgusting, fishy smelling YouTubers to account for the things she says and does. And just remember, she's the type of person who likes to make videos criticizing other people, but likes to call other people out for making videos criticizing her. You know, hypocrisy. It's her main trait. Anyways, today we have a video of Methica Fent, the fake sobriety YouTuber, going at JD Delay over alligator Alcatraz. Now, I haven't watched this video yet, so we're going to see who's going to come with more facts, who's going to come with more buzzwords, who's going to come with more facts, and who's going to come with more feelings. I have a feeling that we already know who that is. Now, the first thing I want to say before we cue the skit is I understand that in situations like this, especially in the US, people tend to get heated when it's political, when it's left, when it's right. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care about any of that. I care about sanity. In fact, I don't even live in America. So those politics are irrelevant to me. I'm going to give you a third party perspective and tell you really what's up. And for those of you who don't know, my co host Pino just recorded a video live from Alligator Alcatraz, and y'all should go check that out on his channel. Anyways, cue funny video. You might be wondering, A.G.B, why are you chilling in the mountains on this beautiful lake at a beautiful time? Well, it's because I'm fishing. And I caught this fish. And it reminded me of everyone's favorite fake sobriety YouTuber, Methica Kent. I mean, I just had to record the video. I mean, I guess her and the fish were related. I mean, there was just so much similarities. The smell, the look, the environment, very similar. Anyways, we have the video right here. Methica Fent made about JD Delay. And the name of this video is The Conditions Are Inhumane and You Know That. Let's go.
There are working toilets and running water in each one of these cage units. And do you see that big thing up there? Do you know what that is? That's air conditioning. Do you know how many prisons in the state of Florida have air conditioning?
Basically
there are
none.
Legit American citizens in those, and the vast majority of them do not.
Oh, supporting alligator Alcatraz or crocodile concentration camp.
All right, look. Already, look at how both of them opened their video, and it's very telling about who's in the right, okay? JD Delay opened his video by stating facts. Now, you may not like some of those facts, that's fine, but they are facts. There is air conditioning, there is running water, and it is a much nicer and better kept facility with higher standards of living than most current Florida inmates that are American deal with right now. Much better, insanely better. In fact, if you don't believe me, I have receipts to show you. More than willing, any of you can go on to my Instagram right here. Let me get to it. A.G.B_raw_talk, and you can see the real conditions of prisons in the south of the United States, from Florida to Louisiana to New Orleans to Alabama, and you're going to see how those people are really living. And you're going to see how much nicer Alligator Alcatraz is than all of these places. But notice, how did she open her thing? She didn't open with facts or anything intelligent. She opened using buzzwords, the exact buzzwords the mainstream media uses to divide people instead of having them have an open, smart conversation. Alligator Alcatraz, crocodile concentration camp. Although those might be good sounding buzzwords, they don't really mean anything. And they're just how the media uses to rile people up about a topic instead of having a real conversation. But we all know Methica Fent doesn't want real conversation. She wants to gaslight. She wants attention. And at the end of the day, all she wants is the almighty dollar so she can get more of her fix.
Felon in 2025 is wild behavior, JD. You didn't come right out and say it, but you really didn't have to, did you? Because that little jab with legit American citizens not having air conditioning, but people in Alligator Alcatraz do. Yeah, I know what the fuck you're saying.
So what is he saying? As a non-American, okay, America has this very skewed perception where they treat their people worse than they treat everybody else coming in. And America is North America is the only place that does that. Anywhere else in the world, if you try and cross a border illegally, they kill you. They just shoot you. That's it. Go and try and go into Russia illegally. Anywhere outside of North America and parts of Europe. Go and try and enter a country illegally, and I'll see you at your funeral. You can talk to me about it there, from beyond the grave. I really don't understand what she's talking about. So we're supposed to treat people that aren't from America, that come here illegally, better than Americans. I want to express something to my audience. I've been working for years and will still be working for years to become an American. I have a business that my main revenue stream is American. Okay. I pay a ton of tax in America, and I hate that my tax dollars are going to helping people who shouldn't be there. That doesn't mean that borders can't exist. The US can't support everybody. So I don't understand. What are you saying right now, Jessica? Are you saying that Americans shouldn't be treated to the level that you want illegal immigrants or refugees or whatever to be treated? There shouldn't be some fairness. The people who've worked in this country or in that country for their entire lives, paid taxes, done all this, don't deserve what somebody from somewhere else is coming and getting. They don't deserve the same or better. That's crazy to me. And also, I want to say, I find this is extremely racist because, like, all of these people who want, like, oh, we need to be nicer to them, and maybe there's some arguments for that, but I don't see any of them going and looking at how most of the prison population in, let's say, Florida, which is African American, is being treated. So you care about the minorities from other places, but you don't care about the minorities from where you live. It seems to me like that's obfuscating responsibility for the people who you've oppressed, Jessica, who your people have oppressed. That's what it seems like to me. And now I understand a lot of people get lost in the Trump or the right or the left thing. It's not about right and left. It's about right and wrong. You treat your people better. You treat your people the best. You take care of them first. And whatever room you have to take care of other people, you take care of them. But you don't have the ability to take care of everyone. That is insane. So what are you talking about, Jessica? What do you mean by that? Do you mean that the black people in Florida, because you don't care about them, don't deserve the same rights? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
I shouldn't have to explain to you that having tents in the middle of the Florida Everglades in the middle of summer is not fucking safe, especially when they build it in like.
Now, all of a sudden, she's an expert on architecture and building structures and how that stuff works. I don't think she understands the first damn thing about any of that.
5 seconds. Did you know that the majority of people.
And what does the building time have to do with anything? Stuff is built incredibly slow in North America. You go to like China and almost everything is built in like 5 seconds. So explain that one.
At Crocodile concentration camp never committed a fucking crime. You know that all humans deserve basic human rights. I shouldn't have to explain that to you. I also shouldn't have to explain.
So she wants to give human rights to the people from other places, but the people from where she's from that she actually has an obligation to doesn't want to stand up for their human rights.
To you that if you're on SSRI medication, your body temperature can increase faster and you're more likely to die. Did you know that everyone on US soil is entitled to due process under the Constitution? Yeah, not just legit American citizens or whatever the fuck you're talking about. This is a gross take, but I'm not even surprised. For me, you stopped being an advocate a long fucking time ago. I stopped watching your content. I only see little drips and drabs of videos that other people send to me because I can't stand to listen to the subtle bullshit that you keep spewing. So I'll just wait for you to block me. Okay, bye.
Well, Jessica, unlike you, most grown people don't go blocking people because they're willing to stand on their arguments. But when you don't have a good argument to stand on like you tend to block people. Now, everything you just said at the end applies to you more than it applies to JD. Your content is disgusting. When have you ever been an advocate? When have you ever even been sober?
Is acting like they're doing all this fucking harm reduction. No, you're not. You're not doing harm reduction. What are you talking about? I was with you for 2 years. I didn't see you try to help one fucking person. You didn't donate to anybody. You didn't fucking do nothing. You did absolutely zero, bro. That's what I'm telling you. People just act liberal for views. When are y'all gonna stop believing people, bro?
Let's just be real here. When have you ever even been sober? You know what you need to stop doing, Jessica? You need to stop picking a side in politics just because you want people to click on your video and watch your video. People should be involved in politics because they care about the issue and because they want to see things improve. You get involved with politics because you want to talk about what's going to give you the most clicks. You want to counter someone because you know there's a lot of people who are way too enwrapped in politics and believe way too much of what the media tells them and will get mad about stuff like this instead of having a rational conversation. And instead of being a leader, you are preying on those people, Jessica. That is extremely sad. So don't talk to me about being an advocate. You talk about being a sober advocate when you're not sober. And on top of it, you sell vices. You sell OnlyFans. OnlyFans and sports gambling are the opioids of 20 years. I promise you. Now, I just wanted to bring a couple more things here because I wanted to show something. She's got a couple more here. She got another one she released, I think, today. Let's watch
it. For your
it.
comment. Now let's once again talk.
Let's see what the comment was. Hold on. Your videos are so great. Appreciate whatever the fuck that says. Are pardoned by Trump. JD is such a biased righty. Okay, now I understand that most of my audience is on the left wing. I want to just teach you something. The left and the right wing don't exist. The people on both sides do not care about you. And if you invest too heavily into one side, I'm sorry, but you're just causing yourself problems for something that'll never amount to anything. There's slight differences between the two sides, but let's just be real here. What Trump's doing now, Obama did tenfold. 10 times more, 10 times worse, and nobody said anything. Should they have said something? Yeah. But nobody did. But all of a sudden, when it's Trump, everybody's saying everything. That's not holding people to account. That's being biased. And I think a lot of us need to look in ourselves and go, we've done a lot of that lately and not do that. But just talking like this, oh, he's a righty. There's nothing wrong with being a righty. There's nothing wrong with being a lefty. You know what there is something wrong with? Not being able to have a conversation, not being willing to look at the majority of people and say, what are they seeing that I'm not seeing? That's what people like Jessica will never tell you. And that's what most people online will never tell you. Because I could right now pick a political side and it would make me a lot more money to just talk about that all the time and stay on one side. But I refuse to do that. I'm going to tell you what I think makes sense. I'm going to tell you what I think doesn't make sense. And I'm going to tell you that most of politics is bullshit and stupid. And they're both sides are lying to you. Both sides are manipulating you, and then they're going and having dinner together and laughing about how stupid you are to follow one of the two sides. And if you don't realize that, you are being played. And that's to everyone in my audience. I don't want to see you guys being played. Jessica's trying to play you the same way politics are playing you. She's trying to pit you against JD because she wants to rage bait you, make you mad about that. And look at something like Alligator Alcatraz. Very easy to rage bait somebody about that. But as soon as you get enraged about something like that, your opinion needs to be put to the side because you're acting on emotions and not on facts. You can have all kinds of disagreements with it, but you also need to be able to operate in a rational way and say, hey, yeah, the way they're treating inmates in Florida is way worse than how they're treating these immigrants. Maybe you don't want the immigrants to be treated like that. But then you can't just forget about the American citizens being treated worse. It's insane. People are letting political division make it so that nowhere has to have any accountability or accomplish anything. That's literally what's happening. Because holding accountability when it only lands on the side that agrees with you is not accountability at all.
Thank you for your comment. Now let's once again talk about Tent City. And before I get into it, Tent City was taken down because of advocates, civil litigation, and a Democrat replacing that sheriff. Oddly enough, that sheriff was charged and convicted of criminal contempt of court for routinely violating court orders. He was doing something that he liked to call an immigration roundup. Right, it's giving racist, but whatever. So anyway, so he not only was the source of $140 million in civil litigation, but also was convicted of contempt of court. Then Trump decided to pardon him. If you think that we weren't talking about all of this when it was going on, you're
Again, here's the bias. She'll talk about this, but she won't talk about how Biden, the leader of the free world for 4 years, had to pardon his whole family for a period of like 10 years or 20 years. We didn't talk about that, did we? So how are we an advocate if we're only talking about one side? How is that fair? How is that being a good person? How is that bringing people together? How is that being an ally? That's not being any of those things. That's being a manipulative piece of shit who just wants money and wants to gaslight people. And I hope more people see this. I know this isn't my typical usual just make fun of Jessica Kent videos. I'm actually dropping some facts. This type of behavior is disgusting. And if anybody ever wonders why there's so much division in the West right now, it's people like this.
Absolutely out of your goddamn mind. Because that's what MAGA loves to say. What was the outrage?
There we go. MAGA buzzwords. She'll hold MAGA to account, but she won't hold her own side to
Tent
account.
City in Arizona. Where was the outrage when Obama was putting kids in cages? They called him the deporter in chief.
Oh, yeah. No. They called him the deporter in chief. Yeah. You didn't, though. That's the thing. Have you seen her make one video about that? Have you seen her shed any light on that? I haven't. All right, so I've got another short here just to show you what kind of terrible person Jessica Kent really is and why she's not somebody anybody should be taking advice from, okay? Now, as we can see here, we have a short here called We're Busy Making Memories, #hiking, and she's got what I believe are her 2 kids here, okay? Now, let's watch the short, and then I'm going to give you my opinion after.
Before the hike. Stop photobombing me. Before the hike.
Okay, so what we have here is we have Jessica Kent taking a silly video with her kids. And now something like this, it does seem very harmless. But for anybody who's a creator, you know that something like this is incredibly, incredibly damaging and just not the way a person who really cares about the upbringing of their kids more than they care about their own pocketbook does. Because what something like this does is today's kids have a problem with not realizing that you need to enjoy the moment. You need to have fun with the time. You need to not always have your phone. A good parent in a situation like this doesn't bring a phone. A bad parent brings a phone and teaches their kids that they need to do something for attention before and after everything they do. So they couldn't just have a day of hiking. She's teaching her kids at such a young, vulnerable age that, oh, we need attention. So we need to make a silly video before, a video about the hike, and then an after, and all this. That's so harmful for kids. You shouldn't be teaching, let alone having your kids on the internet at such a young age. You shouldn't be teaching your kids that they need attention online for stuff like this. Those are 2 young girls. Do you know how social media and needing and craving this attention has affected the mental health of young women? And you're exposing them to it. You claim to be somebody who grew up abused and all these things, and you're subjecting your kids to the same type of behavior. You aren't doing this because you think it's fun. You're doing this because you think it will get views. And you know that cute, funny videos with your kids, people love watching those. But at the same time, you're exposing your kids to a world of things that they are far too young to understand. And you are not teaching them good habits. You are teaching them to seek validation from a phone. And that is so unhealthy. It's so sad. And what these creators are doing is just disgusting. This video, I know it's been a lot of me ranting, but I just don't like people, period, who pick a political side and just agree or disagree with everything that side does and are unwilling to have any realism and look at things the other way. But when you do that stuff and you lie about who you are and you pretend you're a good person, realistically, you have no redeeming qualities. Nobody thinks you're a good person. You aren't an advocate in any real way. You don't do anything in any real way. You're just looking for clicks and clout. You are taking advantage of every single person that watches your show. Every single person who's ever watched Jessica Kent and thought that she was actually a leader, thought that, like, you know, this is actually somebody I can watch and be pointed in the right direction. She is taking advantage of these people. And it is so fucking disgusting. Like, it's so disgusting. Anyways, that's about it for today. I don't know how much of this I could handle. I recorded a burner stream. We're going to be reacting to that soon. I'm going to have more funny videos coming. This one just pissed me off a little bit. It just pissed me off because I hate the way she gaslights and rage baits people, never willing to have a real debate. She knows she couldn't have a real debate with JD DeLay. That's why she would never have one. Sure, JD DeLay would go up and have a debate with her. Well, maybe. I mean, he actually does do things. You know, so actually, I want to address one more point. Saying he stopped being an ally, doesn't he hand out, what's that stuff called? Narcan. It's called Narcan in the US. Yeah, Narcan. Doesn't he hand out Narcan? Don't you hand out meth? Don't you hand out drugs and Tito's and all this stuff? But you hand out meth and he hands out Narcan, and somehow he's not an ally, but you are? Yeah, stop gaslighting people. Anyways, y'all have a blessed day. Stay blessed. Stay great. Fuck Methica Fint. Be a real ally, not a fake one. Peace out.